Alright, I'm here with my 2008 Mini Cooper with the N14 Turbo engine, and I just thought I'd cover on how to fill the transmission with fluid the easiest way that I found possible. Now, this stock original fill hole is like way underneath here. So underneath here you're going to see your coolant lines, and this upper coolant line that's down underneath there, underneath that is a T55, about the size of your thumb, Torx, size of the tip of your finger, I guess, Torx inside it down in there, and it's extremely hard to get at. Not only that, but trying to fill trainee fluid inside of it, it narrows down. The hole's about as big as your finger, right? And it's about ½ inch deep. And then it narrows down to about an 1/8 inch pinhole. Way too small to force hydraulic or trainee fluid inside of it. So here's what I've done. I take off the wheel, put a pan underneath the transmission pan. You'll see that 11 millimeter bolt, or 12 millimeter bolt head right here. That's where I fill it from. So what I do is I jack up the car, get it as close to level as possible. Then underneath the transmission, you have your fill tube or drain hole. So inside of this, here it is. Inside of that drain hole, you pull that plug out, and inside of there, there's a straw about that long. It's another 5 millimeter Allen, just like this one, but it's up inside the hole. So it's a straw about, I don't know, like an inch long. Yeah, about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches long. A straw that goes up inside of the pan. So that is your adjustment of how full the transmission is. So once you fill this thing up, while it's running, when it overflows, when it gets to the right height, it's going to leak out of this hole right here. So you can have the car running with this out. If you pull this out and the car is off, all the transmission fluid has settled and it's going to be too high. So you need the car to be running. You pull this plug, and with it running, you shouldn't have any fluid coming out of here. Now, what you do is, the easiest thing I found was to use this big, whatever what you call this damn thing, but you buy this thing at AutoZone. You can get adapt some hose to a nice tip like this, and so this tip, since it's tapered, you can see it's made some threads on it. I shove that tip inside of that 12 mil bolt hole, and fluid doesn't really leak out of there, just slowly, but that's it. So shove this tip in there, pull this being back and suck it full of fluid. It holds about a ½ quart, and then stick this tip inside the side of the transmission, and then just slowly push on the handle to force all that fluid in there. So you're going to need to do this several times to get about roughly 4 quarts if you've completely drained your transmission, and that's about it. So you leave the car running while you're still filling it full of fluid from that, and then once it starts dripping out of the transmission, you'll know that you've gotten to the right level. Now try to get your car nice and level and have it running and supported, you know, safety with jack stands, and then that fluid will start to leak out once it's full. And then what I did is put the drain plug back in, and then from there I shoved in just a tad bit more fluid in there just to make sure it was completely full, and then shut the engine off, and that's it. So that's a nice quick, the easiest way I've found to put transmission fluid inside a Mini Cooper automatic transmission. This is not the CVT, but the 6-speed automatic. Thanks.